How's it going, everybody? I'm the big guy. I'm the best there is, the best there was, the best there ever will be. There have been none before me, and there'll be none after me. Therefore, I am the one and only Jake Covey. Welcome to Wrestling Made Simple. We got a great week this week. We got the news of the week, followed by your Raw and SmackDown reviews. And then we have a review of Survivor Series 1996. One of my favorite Survivor Series to actually look back on because it had so many talents in it, and you're actually looking back on it going, wow, so this is where maybe a future president of the United States would debut for the company? Just kidding. But we have a review of that. Then we have your drink of the week, and then finally we have the Battle Droid of the week. We do not have a reading from the Book of Rules because, well, I lost the Book of Rules. Yeah. I will find it, or I will get another one by the next episode. I feel enough like an idiot. Don't rub it in. Anyway, let's get into the news this week. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages. Is a WWE Raw superstar about to retire? Apparently that is not the plan, as MVP was asked, what's one thing you won't ever buy again? MVP said wrestling boots. This began a huge circulation on Twitter asking if he was going to retire. MVP said, I need to clarify something. I never need to buy wrestling boots again because I have several pairs. I haven't had my final matches left yet. I still have a few left in the tank. I feel that there is some unfinished business. Could this be alluding to the Hurt Business reuniting? Apparently Bobby Lashley does want that. Apparently a lot of people backstage want that, including creative Triple H, but we'll need to wait and see if it actually happens. Let's look into a very kind of sad and stupid story, as the police were called after an incident at a WWE live event. Apparently Karrion Kross was wrestling Drew McIntyre, and during the match, a fan decided to throw a drink at Karrion Kross's wife and manager, Scarlett. Scarlett wasn't happy about this and security was told the fan to leave. When the fan refused, police arrived. Multiple fans ended up getting ejected. That was apparently her family. Apparently the person right behind them said the lady threw the drink and they took her away first, then came and got her family, who look embarrassed to be associated with her. They didn't cuff the man, they just asked him to leave. Scarlett was really pissed, and you can't blame her. Apparently she said she should have known from the woman's hair and the terrible booze she drinks that she was just a bitch. Shout out to Scarlett for taking it in stride, but damn, that sucks, man. You gotta be smarter, wrestling fans. Come on, we're just getting respect back. Let's be smarter here. Let's not be idiots. Anyway, unfortunately, also sad news coming out of Sunday Stunner, as Kevin Owens was injured. He was playing Austin Theory, and apparently he planted his right knee and seems to have hurt it. He had to be helped out post-match by a referee, and it appears to be an MCL sprain, according to Wrestling Observer, which means he'll be out 6 to 8 weeks. That sucks, man. Kevin Owens was apparently supposed to be the last member of the Brawling Brutes team for the Judgment Day, but now it's up in the air. There's talking to be Seth Rollins. I think it should be Bray Wyatt. I think that'd be a very cool little start back up of him getting into, not in the main event, but in the main event picture of like, hey, I'm feuding with Roman Reigns, but I'm not, I'm still feuding with other people, but at the same time, when people need me, maybe I could be the face that they need while still doing heelish tactics. Anyway, I think it could be fun if he was a part of that, but it wouldn't shock me if they go with someone like Seth Rollins, maybe a Mustafa Ali, LA Knight, Braun Strowman, someone like that. It wouldn't shock me. Let's move on to SmackDown, though. As SmackDown kicked off with the Usos versus the New Day in a banger tag team match. Was there ever any question that these two teams would have anything else but their feud from early on when I started watching wrestling in 2017 on SmackDown was legendary. All the way up to their Hell in a Cell match. It's just something to be remembered. So, it wasn't shocking to me that these two teams tore the house down. The Usos hit a 1D in midair to pick up the win. That was shocking to me. I couldn't believe that. New Usos pick up the win and are now your longest reigning tag team champions ever. Ever. We then got a list of the SmackDown World Cup participants as it's Jinder Mahal, Sami Zayn, Butch, Santos Escobar, Mustafa Ali, Shinsuke Nakamura, Ricochet, and Braun Strowman. Apparently, the talk is Mustafa Ali will be replaced by LA Knight, but more on that later to come. We then get your first match of the World Cup of Santos Escobar versus Shinsuke Nakamura, and again, these two had a banger as well. There was no question these two were going to be awesome in the ring. Santos Escobar was able to pick up the win, but damn, Shinsuke performed his ass off. This is going to be fun. Maybe Shinsuke will be the last member of the Brawling Brutes. That would be fun. So Santos Escobar moves on in the World Cup. We then get LA Knight backstage and sees upset he is not in the World Cup tournament, only be interrupted by Bray Wyatt. Bray Wyatt then told LA Knight he knows how to get respect and questioned how far LA would go to get it. LA then told Bray to mind his own business when Bray delivered one hell of a headbutt to LA Knight. I was shocked he wasn't knocked out on the spot. We then get Shotzi, Liv Morgan, Sonya Deville, Raquel Rodriguez, Lacey Evans, and Xia Li in a 6-pack challenge to become the number 1 contender. Whoever will win will face Ronda Rousey at Survivor Series. Very fun match. I was really not expecting this match to be as good as it was. But all 6 women showed out and really tried to put on the show. The problem was at the end, for me at least, there was a huge botch of... You could tell Raquel Rodriguez was supposed to go through a table and Liv was supposed to put her through the table after jumping off the barricade. But Liv missed completely, and they both just went onto the floor, and the table stood unbroken, which really kind of pissed off the fans. You then get Shotzi winning the match, which was a very good call on their part, I really think. I like Shotzi as number 1 contender. I know she's not going to win, but it's one hell of a match that I could look forward to. After this, she was talking with Emma backstage, where apparently she tried to kick off a romance angle between Emma and Madcap Moss. For those of you who don't know, Emma and Madcap Moss are apparently a real-life couple. So, it could be a fun thing. I'm one of the few people in the world who actually did like the Seth and Becky Lynch story, so, I think it could be fun. We then get Ronda Rousey and Shayna Baszler attacking Shotzi backstage. This really makes me think they're going to bring back the other 2 horsewomen from the UFC and have a 4 horsewomen match maybe at WrestleMania this year, because now the 4 horsewomen are holding titles. You could make the argument that technically Sasha still holds a title, but still. We then get Braun Strowman versus Jinder Mahal. This was just a house fight. There was no question Braun Strowman was going to win this match. Braun Strowman picks up the win, hits a running power slam on Jinder Mahal, moves on to the next round. We were then supposed to get Zelina Vega and B-Fab for their scheduled match. As Hit Row and Legado de Fantasma came to the ring, the Viking Raiders attacked. And who else was with the Viking Raiders but Sarah Logan? Sarah Logan is back in WWE, beat the shit out of Zelina Vega and B-Fab. I'm so happy to see her back. I felt she was one who just really never had her talent exposed in WWE. She was never really the one who they let you see what she could actually do, so I could feel Triple H's era bringing that out. We then get Roman Reigns coming out with the Bloodline to tell everybody to acknowledge him, but Butch and Ridge Holland came out and said they are sick of the Bloodline and brought backup. That backup turned out to be Sheamus. Sheamus said it's the end of the Bloodline begins right now, and a brawl broke out. Fortunately, Sheamus was supposed to deliver a way longer promo, but his microphone broke. And even Roman Reigns called that out. He says, you can't even get a microphone to work. How do you expect to beat the Bloodline, man? So I thought that was very funny, but still, whoever broke Sheamus's microphone, you know where you're going to end up. I just want to say that right now. A big brawl broke out, and Drew McIntyre ended up coming up to help fight off the Bloodline. It just makes you wonder, with Sami Zayn coming back, so it's going to be 5-on-5, who's going to be the fifth member? Again, apparently it was supposed to be Kevin Owens, but that ain't going to happen anymore. Let's go to Raw, as Raw kicked off with the brand new face, Seth Rollins, the United States champion, saying he is still champion despite Austin Theory's cash-in on him last week, and he will face Finn Balor later tonight for the title. Bobby Lashley then came out, interrupted him, and says he will keep giving Seth beatdowns until he gets his United States title back. Mustafa Ali came out and attacked Lashley, but Lashley was able to fight him off. And then it was announced that Lashley wants to fight with Ali. If he wants to get wrecked again, they could come and do it in a match. Mustafa Ali put up a great fight in this match. It was fun, but Bobby Lashley ended up locking in a Hurt Lock to pick up the win. I also want to point out, Bobby Lashley had a terrible scar going down. I believe it was his left pec. And while that scar is covered up and it's probably going to heal, I gotta say something though. It looks badass. If it's real, I'm kind of hoping that leaves a scar, man. That looked awesome. It just looked like he was in a fight with a lion, man. Looked like he was just ready to kill some motherfuckers. He's like, yeah, I got beat the shit. I just fought John Wick in the parking lot. Now here I come out to wrestle. I love it. I thought that was awesome. We then get a backstage segment where AJ Styles challenged Finn Balor to a match at Survivor Series to end everything between the Judgment Day and the OC. I don't know how it's going to go. Could be a fun match. After this, we got Mia Yim in a squash match against Tamina Snuka. I really wish they would do Tamina better, or at least move her to NXT where she can maybe have a shot at a title. If not have a shot at the title, then they need to create a women's mid-card title, like a women's United States or Intercontinental title. They need to do something like that. But Mia Yim was able to pick up the win. Awesome to see her back in WWE. I'm so happy. We then get a backstage segment with Damage Control asked Mia Yim to join their War Games Survivor Series team. We would get an answer to that later on tonight. We then get Chad Gable versus Matt Riddle. Fun match, but at the same time, it really didn't draw me in. This was one of those matches I was watching, but at the same time, I was turning more over Monday Night Football. Chad Gable and Matt Riddle really didn't bring me in. I don't know. I don't like the new gimmick they're saddling Riddle with of the bongos. It feels like he's just going to be a tag team guy. And I know I've said some bad things about Riddle in the past. I was proven wrong at WrestleMania 37 and WrestleMania 38. The guy's got talent. He's got the ability to be better. And I thought RK Bro was his launching point to go back onto a singles career once Randy Orton got hurt and maybe become that main event guy. But it's clear Triple H doesn't see that yet in him. And he sees him as a great tag team competitor because they're apparently, I guess, forming a tag team with Elias. I don't know. I feel Matt Riddle deserves more there. I feel Chad Gable and Otis deserve more. Don't know. Don't get me wrong. Being a tag team isn't the worst thing in the world. It's not like it's a lower class thing. But I just feel Matt Riddle could be a better singles competitor as well. We then get The Miz and Miz TV announcing that he did pay Dexter Lumis to stalk him so he could get empathy from the WWE Universe. Miz claimed he stopped paying Dexter because Dexter got greedy and kept coming to him for more and more money. And he couldn't keep up with the payment. Miz claimed he was depressed in his hotel room over the weekend over the whole situation. Johnny Gargano came out and claimed Miz was lying and actually showed pictures of Maurice on vacation and wants the Miz to stop lying. So he announced that in 2 weeks on Raw, it'll be Dexter Lumis versus The Miz. If The Miz wins, Dexter will leave him alone. If Dexter wins, he gets a WWE contract and Miz must pay him all the money he owes him. Dexter Lumis then attacked The Miz, revealing that he was the cameraman, and chased The Miz for a little while before getting back into the ring with Johnny Gargano. This is why I love Johnny Gargano. He has charisma. I'm going to get hate for saying this. I don't think he's one of the best wrestlers in the world. He's a very good wrestler. But he's nothing that I'm like... He has his moments where you're like, oh my god, that's unbelievable. But those moments, unfortunately, are starting to get few and far in between. But he has the charisma on the mic. When he gets on the mic, people want to listen because they see themselves in him. They see the ability to say, okay, this guy is nothing special. But yet he's fighting in one of the best wrestling companies in the world. They call him Johnny Wrestling for a reason, because he inspires wrestling fans to be better than what they are at that moment. That's what I like about Johnny Wrestling. After this, we got Dominic Mysterio versus Shelton Benjamin in a really fun match. This was probably one of Dominic Mysterio's best matches on Raw, which is very sad to say. But still a fun match, as you feel like a Mysterio can not do any wrong. The Mysterio name is supposed to be synonymous with 5-5-5-5-5-5-5-star matches. But Dominic just isn't there yet. He needs more in-ring training, in my opinion. But he was able to beat Shelton Benjamin. Have a good match. Not great. Very fun to see Shelton Benjamin back on Raw. Get his old theme song back. Ain't no stopping me now. I love that. Dominic Mysterio was able to pick up the win, though. Good job by Dominic. We then get Austin Theory blaming Bobby Lashley for losing his Money in the Bank contract during his cash-in, but it wasn't Bobby. He would have had the best cash-in of all time. Theory said he's done being the future and he is the now of WWE. We then get Dolph Ziggler interrupted, saying it was one of the worst Money in the Bank cash-ins of all time, while he had the greatest cash-in, and pointing out he tried to give Theory advice in the past, but his ego wouldn't let him listen to him. This led to Theory challenging Ziggler to a match later on the night, which would be a great match. We then get Io Sky, one half of the Women's Tag Team Champions, versus Dana Brooke. I like they're giving Dana Brooke some time as well. They are giving people time. That's what I really like about this. They're letting people actually show up on Raw and on pay-per-views that wouldn't be there before in the Vince McMahon era. That's why I do like about Triple H. He's letting people really show up. Io Sky was able to pick up the win, and after the match, Mia Yim came out and said she's made her decision, and she is joining Team Bianca Belair for War Games. So 4-on-4 right now. Who's gonna be the last member for team? God damn, I can't remember this name. Team Damage Control. Why the fuck did that name just soar out of my mind? Well, the fifth member of Team Damage Control was revealed. It will be Rhea Ripley. Rhea Ripley has joined Bayley's team, so who will be the fifth member? Apparently they have a plan for that. God, why can't I get it out of my head that it might be Sasha Banks? For those of you who follow me on Twitter, I was tweeting live during the show last night, and I tweeted that Sasha Banks was on a commercial on the USA Network. Now, it could have just been a pre-taped commercial that they wanted to show during Raw, and they still happened to have her on it and forgot to air her out, or something like that. Or maybe it's finally time. Maybe she's finally coming back. I don't know. I'm excited, but at the same time, I don't know. We then get a backstage segment where Akira Tozawa beat the shit out of Baron Corbin in poker, and then challenged Baron Corbin to a wrestling match. I love that. When was the last time you heard someone, besides maybe Drew McIntyre or Kevin Owens, when was the last time you heard someone say, let's have a wrestling match in WWE? It's awesome. Banned words are gone, and they're just letting wrestlers be wrestlers. We then get Dolph Ziggler versus Austin Theory, which was a great match, but unfortunately ended in DQ as Austin Theory attacked Dolph Ziggler with a steel chair. Still fun to watch, and it's a match I actually really enjoyed. These two can have another great feud. I swear to God, these two can pick right up where they left off and have an amazing feud. We then get Baron Corbin versus Akira Tozawa. It looked like for a minute Akira Tozawa would pick up the win. But Baron Corbin able to hit the end of days. No one kicks out of that unless your name is Drew McIntyre. And Baron Corbin picks up the win. I like this new Baron Corbin, though. It's grown on me. He needs better wrestling gear, but besides that, this thing has grown on me. We then get Seth Rollins defending his United States Championship against Finn Balor. And boy, was there ever any question these guys were going to have a great match. Seth Rollins picks up the win with the stomp after AJ Styles cost Finn Balor a chance at the coup de grace. Judgment Day and OC fight out to end the night. Austin Theory then comes out and attacks Seth Rollins, saying he is the now and Seth Rollins is the past. Looks like we have Seth Rollins' next feud. I don't know if this is going to go into Survivor Series, and maybe Seth Rollins will go in for the Brawling Brutes, but it wouldn't shock me if this is Seth Rollins' Survivor Series match. Very fun Raw and SmackDown this week. I really enjoyed them. There were times when, I'll always say this, is times of, it makes me scratch my head and go, what the fuck are they thinking? But there are definitely times when I'm like, this is awesome. You know, I really have those moments for WWE right now. You can't get them all right. You can't. It's impossible to bat 1,000. It is. Point to me one person who's batted 1,000 for their career. You'll never find it. But it's still fun to see. Let's move on to Survivor Series 1996. Famous for the debut of The Rock. It kicked off on Free For All with a match between Adair Montoya, Bart Gunn, Bob Holly, Jesse James versus Billy Gunn, Justin Bradshaw, Salvatore Sincere, and the Sultan with the Iron Sheik and Uncle Zabika. I don't know if I'm saying it right. I just like saying it. This is a fun match that you look back on. It is a 4-on-4 Survivor Series elimination match. But it's fun to see Jesse James and Billy Gunn opposing each other. They were such a good tag team, and I like it when a really good tag team has a really good singles feud. So it's fun to look at this and be like, oh, okay, that's what that's like for them. It's very funny. After this, we get Doug Furnas, Harry O. Godwin, Phil Lappin, and Phineas I. Godwin, make sure I'm saying that right, with Hillbilly Jim, versus the British Bulldog, Leif Cassidy, Marty Jannetty, and Owen Hart in a 4-on-4 Survivor Series elimination match to kick off the main show. Excuse me. This was a fun little match, and the sole survivor for this match would be Doug Furnas and Phil Lappin. So the Godwins pick up the win here in this match. I forgot to say, the sole survivor of the other match would be Bart Gunn. So, fun match. Definitely fun to see. We then go to a singles match, which at the time was very shocking for WWE to do on Survivor Series. They usually just focus on 4-on-4 or 5-on-5 Survivor Series matches. So, this would be a singles match between The Undertaker and Mankind, where Paul Bearer would be suspended above the ring in a shark cage. I also want to point out this was the match where The Undertaker would be lowered to the ring in his famous bat outfit, which he only did once. I can't blame him for only doing it once. As we see, it's hard to lower someone from the ceiling. Sting does it all the time. I don't know how. Excuse me. But Undertaker would pick up the win in this match. You would see a more... I'm trying to... technical Undertaker in this match than the regular Undertakers you were used to seeing. We then get another 4-on-4 Survivor Series elimination match as Jake Roberts, Mark Merrow, Rocky Maivia, The Stalker, faced off with Crush, Goldust, Jerry Lawler, and Hunter Hearst Helmsley. So this was the debut of The Rock. He was originally Rocky Maivia to pay tribute to his grandfather, Prince Maivia, but he would later change it to The Rock. He would go with Dwayne The Rock Johnson for his dad, but he would mostly stick with The Rock after this. He would originally actually use a shoulder breaker and would pin Goldust to be the sole survivor. But this is very funny to me because you would have Hunter Hearst Helmsley and The Rock in the same match really going at each other, which is very different for me to see them because it was basically that was the feud that decided a lot of the attitude there was The Rock and Triple H. So that's always something I like to look back on and be like, huh, alright, fun. After this, we get a classic between Bret Hart and Stone Cold Steve Austin. This would lead to their match at WrestleMania 13, their I Quit match. Amazing match here. Bret Hart able to pick up the win over Stone Cold Steve Austin in a 28-minute match. The longest match on the show, by the way. I want to point that out. Was not a Survivor Series match. It was this match right here. We then get the match that was very questionable of Diesel, Farouk, Razor Ramon, and Vader versus Flash Funk, Jimmy Superfly Snuka, Savio Vega, and Yokozuna. This match was a 9-minute match and ended in a no contest. Savio Vega and Razor Ramon would be eliminated, and then it would basically just cause a huge disqualification. No one would win. It would be a no contest. I want to point out, by the way, on the pre-show, you have Justin Hawk Bradshaw. And then on the main show, in the semi-main event, you would have Farouk, who would be the APA. This is why I like watching this show, because you're watching it and you're saying, okay, these are the guys who are going to define one of the best eras in wrestling, and not just the Monday Night Wars, but in the Attitude Era, the PG era, the Ruthless Aggression era, all that shit, these guys debuted here. This is what it was for. And then finally, in your main event, you got Psycho Sid versus Shawn Michaels for the WWF Heavyweight Championship of the World. Very fun match. Unbelievable chemistry these two had of Psycho Sid and Shawn Michaels. Psycho Sid gets a very bad rap as champion after this. I don't know. I've always been a fan of Psycho Sid, and I completely believe this guy deserves to be in the Hall of Fame more than almost anyone else out there right now, besides maybe Christian and a couple others. Psycho Sid deserves to be in the Hall of Fame, not just for this run, but the runs he's had in the past. Yeah, he botched a few moves. He botched some sayings. Ones that brought us hilarity through the rest of our lives. But I truly believe Psycho Sid belongs in the Hall of Fame. And this match just goes to prove it. Psycho Sid and Shawn Michaels have a great match, in my opinion. It's a fun match to watch. And Psycho Sid picks up the win as your new WWF champion. This would lead to Psycho Sid defending the title against The Undertaker at WrestleMania 13. If my math is correct, I believe it is. Yes. So, if I had to grade this pay-per-view, it would be a B+. The no contest brings it down from an A. And I know Rocky Maivia was green, but still, the people in the match you're looking at, you're like, huh. All right. So that's how that guy got his start. You know, it's funny to see. It definitely is funny to see. Sticking with the War Games theme, it is time for your drink of the week. We are doing the Call of Duty Modern Warfare drink. I want to play Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2. I might do it sometime this week, so we'll see. The Call of Duty Modern Warfare Frag Grenade Shot. Now, this is a bomb shot, so I want you to realize this is a tough drink. So, be careful with this drink. Have one at most. it contains 3 shots. The Soap McTavish, which is green creme de menthe and limoncello. The Juggernaut, which is Irish cream and Jaeger. And the Vladimir Makarov, which is 1 ounce black vodka and an energy drink. So first you're going to add the creme de menthe at the base of a shot glass and layer with limoncello. Limoncello, by the way, I also want to point out, is also a brand of alcohol that Danny DeVito makes. So if you're looking for a really fun star set drink, that's actually a fun one to have, is limoncello. Very unknown that Danny DeVito actually owns part of limoncello. So you set that shot aside, then you do Irish cream at the base of the second shot and layer Jaeger on top and set that aside. You then take a pint glass and you pour in the black vodka and into half of the glass and fill the rest with the energy drink. Actually, just add 1 ounce of the black vodka and then fill the rest with the energy drink. You're going to set the shots on top of the glass so that way they're kind of holding each other up. You're going to remove 1 shot, take it, let the other one drop down, and chug that one, turning it into a bomb. Please drink responsibly, do not drink and drive, and do not drink if you are under 21 in the United States. Do not overconsume alcohol. It can lead to health risks in the future. And now, everybody, it is time for the Battle Droid of the Week. The Battle Droid of the Week is very simple for me. I mentioned it earlier in my SmackDown review, so it shouldn't come to any surprise. The Battle Droid this week is the man who fucked up Sheamus' mic. Sheamus was supposed to have this gutty promo that really got us behind him and be like, yeah, go get the bloodline, man. You got this. But instead we get, I'm going to kick up the bloodline. Yep. And Roman Reigns delivering the line of the night, destroying Sheamus very easily on the microphone. So, that shouldn't have happened. So, whoever you are, if you're listening, you know who you are. You are the Battle Droid of the Week. Congratulations.
Uh-oh.
Ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much for listening. I have been the big guy. It's been a fun week for me. Just got back, and I am ready to provide you guys with amazing content. So thank you very much for listening. Please enjoy wrestling this week. I know this episode's coming out a little late. My flight was delayed coming back home. So please enjoy wrestling. Have a great week. I've been the big guy, and this has been Wrestling Made Simple.